About 6 months ago, I made a video talking about some unknown and underrated roguelites that people probably missed. And really, these games were really good and I feel very underrated. Some of them weren't available to the public yet, so really, how can you miss a game that isn't even out? I asked myself that and decided that I should make another video talking about some roguelike games that I feel could be flying under a lot of people's radar. This video will have 5 games total, all of which will be available on Steam, and the links for all the Steam pages will be in the description below. And let me tell you, all 5 of these games are really worth the price, and I had a lot of fun playing them for this video. First game on this list is a part of the most saturated genre in the roguelike category, with the bullet hell-esque survival games, the auto shooters really, and it's NOMAD Survival. I know, everyone is sick of this genre, but there's a handful of well-known games in this genre, all that are quite popular, with Vampire Survivors, of course, 20 Minutes Till Dawn, Rotato, Soulstone Survivors, all great games, but I feel all those games are more well-known compared to what NOMAD Survival is all about. It released on October 8th of 2022 by the developer The Foxnox, with this being their first game. The gameplay is similar to other auto shooters where you try to survive for X amount of time and defeat waves of enemies, which grants you XP, and leveling up allows you to pick between active and passive abilities. Where NOMAD Survival stands out in this genre is the variety and the ability to modify the run. Now, of course, every one of these games has great variety, but NOMAD Survival offers 17 active abilities, 19 passive abilities, 9 characters total, 6 of which you have to unlock, all with different abilities, 4 maps with unique bosses, and you have pets to aid you. Inside all of that, it has a very simple upgrade system like all auto shooters do, with in-game currency making your character stronger. What I enjoy about this game is how difficult it is compared to, let's say, Vampire Survivors. I personally feel it's much harder to get a totally busted run and actually win in the beginning. I've won a few runs here and there, but really, I've definitely lost more than I've won. And that's not even covering the amount of changes you can make yourself. You can change the run so much with enemy speed, damage, projectiles, your own health, and damage, and really make this run as hard as it can be. I know this genre is very oversaturated and it has a lot of great games, but NOMAD Survival, I feel, executes this genre, the auto shooter, perfectly, and it's only a few bucks like every other game. So if you love this genre, you definitely need to give this game a shot, and let me know what you think of it. Next game we're going to discuss that I feel has slipped by a lot of people is a game called Patch Quest. It was released in the early access May 7th of 2021, and it describes itself as the only monster-taming roguevania on Steam. And in my time with it, I can agree with that title. You find yourself on the island of Patchlantis, which changes form every time you die, like in a standard roguelite fashion. Along with the island changing when you die, you're able to upgrade your character after each death, if you level up, of course. And you can level up your outfit or your lasso so they have more perks. Those perks will make the runs easier in the future. There isn't too many perks in the game, it looks like, but the leveling up can take a while, as the runs themselves can take a long time, because the game has 12 zones total if you look at the full map. Inside runs, you can find dungeons as well, and even shortcuts to help fast travel easily. I find the weapons and taming part of the game to be very interesting. Your main weapons are the fruit you pick up, and each fruit is a different weapon type, like a shotgun, a rifle, or a burst gun, which all do different amounts of damage. Your other main weapon is the animals in the game itself, which are also the enemies. You're able to tame an enemy in your run, and each enemy has multiple moves they can learn when they level up. And once they're leveled up once, you don't need to worry about them losing their level on the next run. You can even have them as pets, so when they run out of energy, you don't lose them forever. Inside of runs also, Patch Quest has in-game stats that reset with every run. Stats that improve your damage or improve your riding after lassoing an enemy. Really, with the cute graphics, not super hard combat, and a lot of story, I mean a lot of it, this game is a great one to pick up. With it being early access, it's only going to get more content. It is a little pricey at about $20, but for the amount to do, it's really one hell of a deal. Most of the best roguelike games of all time are around that price, or even a little bit more expensive. Patch Quest is a great Metroidvania roguelike game that has a lot of unique things to it, and I really think you would like it. It's really cute as well, so you might as well give it a shot if you got the time and the money. All right, this next game, I've made a video on it about 6 months ago as well, but as of making this video, I still feel it deserves a lot more love, so I don't mind bringing it back up, and that's Revita. Now, originally, I wasn't going to include and play any games that I've already played in the past in this video, but decided to look past that for Revita and one other game, as Revita has gotten some pretty big updates in the past to help keep it fresh, and also, I played a few roguelites with the intention of them being in this video, but they just didn't hit the mark for me. They were okay games, but not good enough for me to be in this video. So What's Revita? Well, it's a twin-stick action roguelike with some small platforming. You play as an unnamed character who ascends a clock tower. The game has 6 floors total in the run, with each floor having 12 rooms filled with enemies to fight and ending in a boss. I'll say this game is probably one of the hardest ones on the list because of the unique health system it has. And really, it's a lot of fun. You can regain health from item drops, but they're pretty rare. But a lot of in-game events revolve around you sacrificing your health for items or relics, as the relics are the main way to buff your weapon and character. With sacrificing health, you can still easily regain it back though when your soul meter is filled, and it gets filled after killing enemies. And if you can avoid taking damage and keep killing enemies pretty fast, you'll gain more souls faster. And if your health is full and your soul meter is full, you can just get more health with the souls. Just the crazy health system alone makes this game so unique. It sounds maybe a little confusing and a little daunting at first, but trust me, once you get into the game, it's super simple. Revita feels great overall and has a lot of replayability, as once you clear the game, you can make it harder with shards. The game has a lot of shards, and you will need to beat the game a few times before being able to add what you want. The enhanced difficulty isn't as simple as Hades with the heat, but the shard system still increases the difficulty a good amount and gives a good reason to keep playing. Now, Revita, like all games on this list, have a lot to talk about, and I don't want to spoil everything, but really, try this game out. Great difficulty, good amount of weapons, a crazy amount of relics that have so many endless possibilities, and the game even has hats you can wear. Who doesn't like hats? All that for less than $20 on Steam or the Nintendo Switch. Really a great deal and a great roguelite that deserves so much more recognition. The developer is a solo developer too, and they work so hard in this game. The passion is clearly there, and I really hope to see it shine more. Now next we have another game I've made a video on, and it's Shotgun King, the final checkmate. I had zero intentions of throwing this on the list as it didn't have too much content, but on November 14th, they got a major content update that added new weapons, cards, game modes, difficulty. Really, it's a whole new game, and I decided to play the update, and well, it's not actually a new game, but it's still a hard game. Harder than Revita? Maybe. So starting the game up again, you have to start on the throne game mode before being able to do endless or chase. Throne mode has you go through 12 floors, with each floor getting increasingly harder, and the main goal is to kill the White King. If successful, you get to choose between 2 cards, and both cards have a buff for you and the enemies. If you know how to play chess, you will love this game. And if you don't know how to play chess, I think you'll still like this game once you figure out what all the pieces do. It's super simple, but still pretty freaking hard. Throne mode has 12 ranks also to go through, where each rank the game has new modifiers to enhance the difficulty. The core gameplay really stays the same, but the runs can go by so fast that it's easy to get in and lose a lot of time with this little gem. With this latest update, it did get a price increase to about $10 US, but I still view the game as very fun and worth it. There's a lot of fun buffs for you to try, a lot of new cards in this new update, and really, this game is really a lot of fun, and I'm super excited to see how much further I can get into it. So far, I've been loving it. And now we've made it to the final game of this bunch, and I'll say this one might be my favorite game. All of the games that I've mentioned in this are fantastic, and I really want to play more of them, but this one, there's something about this game that I just love. And I'll say, don't judge it by its simple graphics. The final game is Tiny Rogues. This little gem is a fantasy roguelite bullet hell dungeon crawler that even has some RPG elements. You pick between multiple classes that you unlock with souls, which you gain after a run is over, and each class is better in strength, dexterity, or intelligence. And each of those areas have weapons and equipment that benefit from leveling up. I'll be honest, I still don't know everything about this game, and I'm still learning, but I have an absolute blast playing this. My personal favorite types of builds are around long range weapons, as that's what I've won the game with. And I'll say the game can feel pretty easy up until like the 6th or 7th floor. You go through 10 floors, and each floor has 10 rooms you go through. A successful run can take about 45 minutes. The insides of runs include bombs to break down walls, keys to open chests, lots of enemies to learn the movement of, gathering gold to upgrade your weapons, and you trying to find all the different types of equipment and accessories you can hold. Now, outside of a run is also very simple. Like I said in the beginning of this segment, you pick between multiple classes, and currently the game has 11 classes you can unlock, and every single one will cost souls once they're able to be unlocked. And along with that, you can buff your character with souls and buy starting items to start with a small little buff. This game reminds me a lot of an NES game with the graphics and overall simplicity of it, and it even has a nice throwback with CRT TV lines going down the screen. But you can disable that if it annoys you. All of this is a great deal for about $5, and it reminds me a lot of Enter the Gungeon, Binding of Isaac, and maybe even a little bit of Hades. But overall, this little gem is fantastic and one of the best roguelites that I've played of this year. And really, I'm excited to see it gain more success, as every time I check the reviews, it has even more. And really, that's the list. I tried to find 5 games that had at least under 1,500 to 2,000 reviews on Steam. And as of making this video, Shotgun King has the most reviews with just over 1,900, and Patch Quest has the least amount of reviews with over 400. But all of these games were really fun to play, and I hope to be able to invest more time in them soon. Now, do any of these games spark interest in you? Or is there a game you expected to see here or want to suggest for me to play? Well, let me know in the comments. I appreciate you watching this video, and let me tell you, if you like long form content like multiple hours, 30 minutes, I made a second channel called Sleepin' Bear Plays, where I'm going to upload all of my roguelite runs from my stream that I do on Twitch. I'm going to try to upload daily there, so just in case you can't watch Twitch, you can still watch the videos anytime you want. They'll always be there, and really appreciate you watching, and hope to see you on the second channel or on my live stream. See you next time.